PD. It could be anything you want. So let's have a couple people share a win for the week before we launch Satinka and Rose and Sarah. And I think one more. Anybody?
Somebody's got to have a win around here. Come on.
All right, I'll go. When they announced the 90-day protocol at convention, I was a little bit like, I don't know. That's a lot of products. That's a lot of commitment. I don't know if Melissa's on here or not, but we went camping this weekend, and I was kind of sharing that with her, and she was like, that's a limiting mindset, Kristen. Like, I swear I was listening to myself talk. And I put it out on Facebook, and I had 6 people commit. So from one post. And so I'll be posting about it again, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I would say that that is a win, because that's 90 days worth of commitment. So yeah. And if you guys haven't posted about it, be bold and post about it, because I was like, I don't know.
I haven't either, just because I guess at first I kind of was like, I don't really know if that's my thing, right? You guys, like, and I'm always too, like, you guys can't just assume that your people won't want that. And here I still haven't posted about it either.
Well, yeah, and it was exactly my thing. I was just like, I don't really think that's for me. Like, I really like to come up with customized plans, because a lot of times, like I always emotionally detox when I do the detoxes, so I kind of shy away from them, and then I really shy away from Power Chi, because Power Chi is not my friend. And so I, was very hesitant, but that's not their story. And what I was hearing from a lot of people was like, they were like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Like, this makes sense. You have to prepare your body for weight loss. And I was like, oh, Amy, thank you. So awesome for being so excited about it. Because it was really Amy, because I was like listening to her, and I'm like, okay, she's excited about this, then I should be too. So we always think we know better, just like the M2s. I ain't never doing one of them M2s.
As you were talking, that's literally what I was thinking. I'm like, this sounds like something she just said not that long ago. I have a win. Sorry, I was off for a second because someone asked me about products. I had 5 people, am I right? I think 5 people reach out and ask about joining the business, and only one of them have ever done Soul.
That's huge.
Right? So I'm a little busy with M2s right now, so I can only do so many things at once, right? So, yeah. So,
love it.
There you go.
And Jen, super, super awesome. Jen shared the business app with 5 people in the last 24 hours. That is super duper duper huge. I'm so proud of her. I see her picture over there. I'm like, wait, where'd she go? Rhonda, 3 health assessments from the happy hour. Huge. Yay. And Dana, grandson did awesome with surgery. They removed the extra thumb that he was born with. So much awesome stuff, you guys. I have a big win. My son is in his 3rd day of kindergarten, and I've got more work done in the last 3 school days than I probably did in 3 months this summer. So I'm super excited to be back in this season. Of course, through the summer, I was always still busy with Messenger and all of those kinds of things, but I got a lot of really productive work done. Today I was able to reach out to every single person in the boot camp for August, and I was able to reach out to tons and tons of my customers, and just I'm really focused. So that's very exciting for me.
Steph, you'll like this one. Guess how many health assessments Darlene has, and her M2's not even till tomorrow. Take a guess.
How many?
As of like a couple hours ago, so it's probably more now. 9. Susie's not on, or you don't see her on. 9 health assessments in less than 24 hours. So Susie's probably doing health assessments, and that's why we don't see her.
Yes.
That's her son's birthday, so I don't know what they're doing. But anyway.
Well,
But that
she's been taking the products for so long, and she's talked to me about the business for a
oh,
long time.
she's
Finally,
talked
I
to
was like,
me,
girl,
you, Susie, and this is like so funny because she literally handpicked who she wanted to speak on her M2, and
yeah,
Susie jokingly said to her, "You're only going for the big guns, apparently." And
yeah,
not against anyone else, it was more of a funny joke. But she's like, "Ooh, this is who I like when they speak," because she's been watching us and following us for a year.
yeah,
And we've all like Steph. I know Steph's talked to her. Steph has loved on her posts. I've loved on her post. I talk to her all the time, like all the time. Susie talks to her. Susie sees her. They live in the same community. They see each other. The kids, like, it's quite funny. And yeah, so we're excited about what this is going to bring for them.
yeah. I was just gonna say that's a good point too. If anybody ever if you ever get in a three-way chat with one of your specialist members, always add them to your CRM, you guys, because a lot of times you'll find that specialist isn't following up with them, and so you can kind of pop back into that three-way message, or you can at least keep them in your CRM, so you're like going on their page and liking their posts and stuff like that. That means that's a big deal.
For Darlene,
Mm-hmm.
she knows this team already loves her and she hasn't joined us yet.
Yeah,
Right? Like she's like, I can, like, when you knew she did the last 2 months business calls, so don't discount anyone out.
yeah,
Last month we thought we had her, and I'm like, girl, right? And so like we just kept loving on her very diligently, like kept her very, and so like she's like, Steph said, "Hey, oh my goodness, it's good to see Darlene." And I know Darlene enough to know she was like, like she would have fangirled right out in the middle of the business.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
because Steph took the time to get to know her and love on her. So thank you on behalf of all of us for doing that.
Well, and that's another thing too. I just wanted to point out real quickly, and what I really try to get this point across in the new specialist boot camp. I don't ever do that with the assumption of like, oh, if I do this, if I'm really nice to this person, maybe she'll join our team 2 years from now. No, like I genuinely actually care, right? So that's that mindset part that a lot of people just have to kind of get over. Like, even if you talk to them for a year, or she's been on the products this whole time, which is great, but sometimes they're not on the products the whole time. But don't stop. Like, it's because we didn't stop, and we haven't stopped talking about the business and loving on her, and you know what I mean? It's like that second that you stop and think like, oh, I just am not good at this and I'm just going to stop, then all those people that you've been building up and has been watching your journey just went, oh, see, I knew that soul stuff wasn't that great. They just quit. They quit talking about it. It must not be good at all. So definitely
People
don't.
know she likes it so much. One of the girls that fell off mine that didn't reorder for whatever reason, when the rewards were all expiring, remember back in January, February,
Mhm.
whenever that was? Correct me there, Kristen, if when the big mass right before
Yeah.
the free shipping came in, this other girl said, "Hey, I know you love the products. Do you want my rewards?"
Oh,
Like,
wow.
right? She gave her reward. So you just don't know. I mean, will the other girl come back? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
We'll
cool.
see. But anyway, she didn't want to lose. She didn't want to lose them, so she gave them to someone that she knew would use them.
Yeah.
And it was like $35 or something crazy.
So huge. Amy.
Can I interrupt really quick?
I was going to say, Amy, are you trying to say something?
So I was like, oh, me, pick me. So I just have to tell you guys on this, I am coming in completely hot. I got off of work and I had a call with a lady. It's just been crazy since we've gotten back from convention, but like my inbox is just like beep, 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 beep. But she actually thanked me today, like brought me to tears for being consistent and sticking with what I've done, because she said it's been a huge blessing to her and her husband to watch our journey unfold over the last year, to see my health, to see my family's health, to see how we've changed and grown. And she legitimately said, thank you for what you do, because it's taken me this long to be ready and you're still here. And so like that was huge for me to hear that, because she wasn't ready when she talked to me a year ago about what her son was going through, but now she's ready for her son and for her and her husband. And I didn't love on her every single day and message her with ulterior motives. She just saw what we were doing and like the authenticity and reality of our groups and stuff she's been involved in. And now she's going to become a member, and I'm so excited. So yeah, just what you said.
I love that. I just, what we have here, there is nothing else like that. And I was talking to a couple of people today, and just another thing I wanted to point out, you guys, is like, why am I successful, or why is Kristen successful, or whatever? It's because we're consistent, and because we also sell ourselves and our story versus the product, if that makes sense. So be vulnerable, talk about you, talk about your life. If soul's a part of that story, that's great. But people are going to gravitate you just for being authentic, right? So, okay, Amanda, go ahead.
What? Okay. Okay, I apologize. I made a scheduling snafu, so I'm going to have to hop off at 9 o'clock to get on with 2 other specialists, but I apologize. We're like East Coast, West Coast. So this week we are welcoming Satinka, Sarah, and Rose to share about let me get my notes. What is this, Jeff? Help me out, somebody.
Resilience and perseverance.
Resilience and perseverance. And
Yes, girl, come on, get with it.
These 3 women have shown up and are an awesome example of that. And they said yes, right, Satinka? So Satinka, why don't you start us off?
Did you say for me to go first? My internet is going kind of in and out, so I'm like, sometimes I miss stuff. Did you say? Well, I apologize that mine is not on perseverance and resilience, because when Steph said, hey, can you share? I was away at the beach all weekend, so I didn't have what I was trying to prepare.
I just wanted you to bring your thing. Yes.
Yes. So I have, what came to mind, because I started wondering, I'm like, okay, what's really important to me right now? And trying to establish a culture, if you will, with my team and the people that I work with, and even my family, because, a lot of what we do, we can apply to our families. And what is really important to me is speech and the words that we say. So I'm not going to give you any secrets like, hey, you say this, you're going to make every sale, or you say that, and you're going to get everybody to fill out the health assessment. But there definitely are some things that I think are very, very valuable to you that not only apply to your business, but the way you look at your business, and then look at even the reactions and interactions that you have with the people that you work with. So I was doing some Google searches just to kind of get a wide variety of what people talk about when, you're using speech or positive language, or, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure you've all have heard something to that degree. But when I found this one article by Forbes, and it was kind of a cool story. It was talking about this guy who wanted out of a job, and he saw this guy who would help him with language, and it was pretty funny. I'm going to read a couple of the examples, because the guy's name is Eugene, his boss's name is Marcus, and he says, the boss, Marcus is an a-hole boss. And he's like, how about Marcus is an okay guy who needs things to be done correctly. So it's like, and then the other one was Eugene, the employee, says about his place of employment. He says, this place is insane. The contrary is, this company has high standards. And it went through a couple of cool examples. So this is just Forbes, an article by Forbes. If anybody wants to read any of these, just tell me afterwards. And then one of them that the employee would say says, I'm super stressed. And instead the contrary response would be, I'm under pressure, but I know I can handle pressure. And I know that a lot of us, we talk a lot about mindset, but you cannot adjust your mindset if you don't find ways to have an action that's opposite or contrary to what you're going through. Like Allison was talking about when we get stuck and we need to do an action to come in an opposite, opposite reaction. Just do something opposite, completely opposite, to change your function, change your direction and all of that. And then another article that I found, it kind of went through these, they had like these steps or whatever, these things that it does, using positive words. And positive words, the one that I wrote down that I thought was really cool was positive words relieve mental burdens. Because most of us can identify something that's traumatic or something that was painful, and what was it that made it traumatic or very impactful? It was usually their words. So you can go back and say, so-and-so made me feel really bad. What did they do? Did they hit you with a spoon? Did they throw a fork at you? What did they do? They probably just use words. So looking, that's easier to look out from environmentally and see like things, what people have done to you. But something that I remember Denise teaching on, maybe she shared it from something she learned, but she gave the example of, when we're working with our kids and they're learning to walk and the baby keeps falling. You don't say, oh my gosh, why did you just fall? So you have to think about the way that you speak to yourself every time you fail. You're not going to be good at it the first time you try it. As soon as you get off that M2 and you bombed it, don't say that. Say, I need to write some notes and figure out what I just did that I can do it differently. And, or hurry and do an action that says, okay, I'm going to pick the top 5 things I loved about what I did. And then you can write yourself a list. Okay, 5 things I want to do differently the next time I do this. And so it's, the way we treat our kids, the way that we respond to other people, we have to remember to do that same thing for ourselves. You can't be so hard on yourself. Don't use language that you wouldn't use on your young child learning something new. Don't do that to yourself. It's just mean. So don't do it. And then there was another article talking about, that there's words that heal. There's lots and lots of articles that talk about gratitude. You guys have probably all heard that. And, using words that heal. And, I find a lot of inspiration from the Bible. I'm a woman of faith, and I found this one website. It says 55 verses on the power and significance of speech. 55 verses. That's kind of a lot. And then this other website I found, now this isn't to pick on anyone, and maybe it's a cultural thing and just the way, words become overused, but I've always had a problem with the word crazy. So I try not to use it like, my day was crazy. Today just went, however you use that word to describe a circumstance, I think that, I feel like that makes it feel out of control. And you want to feel like, you accomplished something in your day. So that's one thing I want to challenge everyone. If you feel the same way about the word crazy, I challenge you to stop saying, my day is just so crazy, everything got out of order, blah, 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 whatever. Just say what happened. Just say, today the washer broke. today my son put dish soap in the dishwasher and there was soap everywhere. Whatever it is, just say what it was that happened. Be truthful and specific instead of saying, oh, it was totally crazy, I didn't get to anything I wanted to do, and the day was wasted or whatever. So the words that we use are really significant. And then back to the Bible, there was this thing in James where it talks about bridling a horse. A horse, most of you know, is a very big animal. And to some of us, they're kind of scary. And what do we do to control a horse? You put a bit in their mouth and you can move the whole horse. Get them to do what you want, go in the direction you want. How about a boat, a really big ship? Do you know what a rudder is? It's usually very small in comparison to the entire boat. You use the rudder to steer the direction. And then, in the scripture, it talks about, how our tongue is so small compared to the rest of you. But there's so much power in the words that we say. So, I could go on this subject, but I really want all of us to be thoughtful of the words we use, not only with ourselves, but about our business. Dr. Allison, two things from Dr. Allison that I still use all the time because words are important to her and how she teaches and doing things opposite of what you're going through. And she's, one of the ones she said was, I'm ridiculously in charge. I've pulled out my notes and I found it. She said, I'm ridiculously in charge. And the other one, I think the first time I heard her speak, she said, how can I? A lot of you say, I can't. And I love to tell the kids, they say, I can't do that. I can't climb up that thing. I'm like, okay, well, you won't because you said you can't. And so we're the same way. If you keep saying, I can't, you won't. So stop saying I can't. And then and then too, again, just another funny note I wrote down. I was like, even Disney, Bambi's Disney, Thumper. I'm sure there's some people who know Bambi, know Thumper. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. So, just hold your tongue. Be quiet. Don't say how bad it is. Just wait a while and unpack it later. Don't say how crazy it is or I can't or that went terrible. Just be quiet and then wait and deal with it later or unpack it later. And if any of you like acronyms, this is the last thing. Write this down is the THINK acronym. If you've ever heard that, it's THINK. So the T is for true. Before you open your mouth and say something, is it true? Check and see if it's true before you say it. H is for helpful. If it's not helpful, don't say it. Keep your mouth shut. And I'm not saying this just for other people, but I really mean this over yourself, that you speak it over yourself. If it's not helping you, don't say it. And then I is for inspiring. Let's not be so critical of ourselves and of others, but choose to be inspiring to others and ourselves. So I is for inspiring. N is for necessary. Necessary. I'm sure you can figure that one out. If it's not necessary, don't say it. I always think of Captain Obvious. Don't be Captain Obvious. Just and the K stands for kind. If it's not kind, don't say it. To you, even to yourself. If it's not nice, it's not kind, don't say it. So that's what I got.
I love that. It's the thing is like whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. Right? Like that's a big deal. And I love how you said, like, if your kids say, yes, I can and I will. I love that. It's totally true. Like when they're learning to walk, you're not like, what is wrong with you? Why do you keep falling down? Like, I love that. That's a really, really, really great, it's definitely like, that's a part of mindset, but like speaking or even just the self-doubt. And I love love what Shannon said. She's like, whenever my anxiety starts to kick in, I stop and ask myself, is there a tiger near? Like, right? Like, is it that bad? And so I love that. That's awesome. And your tank is amazing. Okay, awesome. Rose was like rushing to get home, and now she made it home. So we're gonna throw her on.
Yay! Thank you. Okay,
I love that.
All right, thank you. Satika, that was so good. I have a lot of notes because I think recently, what is it, like maybe 2 years. I think it's been 2 years that me and Satinka have been friends. Am I on? Can you guys hear me? Yes, okay. But she has really walked me through some really difficult times. And I'm the person that walks in her house and is like, I'm having a crazy day. I just want to give up. She's like, your words? And I'm like, okay. I got to flip them around. But today I want to talk about resilience and perseverance. As those were the topics that I was like, ooh, we got to talk about this, because in this business, you guys, if you are not resilient and not willing to persevere, you would have already given up. And it's so, it's very hard. It's not for the lighthearted. And I just want to share the definition of resilience if you're taking notes or whatever. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness, and the ability of a substance or object to spring back into shape or elasticity. And I just love that because when we think about this business, we have to be resilient. We have to be strong and know that there's going to be difficult things that come along. We're going to have that person that you talk to and they're like, no, or they tell you, yeah, I'll order on Friday, and then you call them, or they ghost you, or they say, no, I thought about it. I don't want to anymore. And so when I think about my journey with Soul, it's been 3 years. And, when I first started, I wanted to sign everyone up. I wanted to build a big business, but I needed to grow on myself. I needed to go from this level to this level to even be able to have a team and have working specialists under me. I had some major mindset things that I needed to go through myself in order to grow as a leader. When I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, these products are expensive. Nobody's going to want to buy them. It was all in what I was saying. It was horrible. And I really needed to shift my mindset and grow out of my poverty mentality to really make this happen and grow, I also wrote something down. Resilience means knowing how to cope in spite of setbacks, barriers, or limited resources. How many of you can, just show of hands, have had a setback in your business, or maybe you were going strong and your kid got sick, or you went through some life circumstance and you're like, dang it, I thought I had this handled. But you know what? Not giving up and saying, you know what, this is hard right now, but I'm going to keep pressing on. I'm going to keep going forward. That's the attitude to have. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want those dreams, those goals, those monthly goals you write down in the beginning of the month? How bad do you want those? This is why everyone's camera should, oh, sorry. I want it really bad, you guys. Right now, just speaking, quite frankly, financially, we need a lot of help. My husband is the only one working outside the house, and finances are not wonderful. I mean, we really can use the extra financial help right now. So I want this really bad. I want not only to make the type of income that we need, but I want to set people free. I want them to have freedom in their health. I think we all want that, man. When we get those testimonies from people like, girl, I haven't been able to sleep, for 3 days, and I finally slept with my Renew or whatever. We're like, woo! I don't know about you guys, but I'm like doing a happy dance. Hey, love you too, Darcy. Happy dance when I get those testimonials, whether, it can be a one, big, huge testimony. It could be something small, like I didn't get a headache yesterday or whatever, or my kid didn't throw a fit because I used the Calm Bar. Like, yeah, we love it. Okay, the next question I have for you, how hard are you willing to work? Okay, because woo, 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 that's what I'm talking about. We see those people like at convention. We saw those 100Kers, you guys. do we know how hard they work? I'm sure they work their butts and tails off, you know, and I know we are all going to get there, but it's not just like you wake up or tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm at 25 or 50K. Like, it is hard work, people. Ask these girls, ask Steph and Kristen and Amy, like, how hard is it? It's tough, and it is, you know, it's a lot of hard work. And we have to remember, when we feel crappy, when we feel exhausted, when we feel like we want to throw in the towel, we have to bounce back and be resilient and stretch. I should have brought like a little stretchy rubber band. I don't have one on me. But, you know, like, we have to be flexible and just bounce back when we have something difficult hit us in this business. Go hard and don't quit. I am not a quitter, you guys. I do not quit. That is not in my vocabulary. I am like, nope, I'm going to outrun you. I'm going to outweight you, which I really don't. I know some of you are like, yeah, I've seen Tammy. Tammy's on here. Girl, you putting up some big weights. I'm like, dang, Gina, I want to do that. But I don't want to quit. I mean, like, just being open and honest, like I said, we in my marriage, we've been through some difficult stuff, and I could have been like, done, you know, but I know that God has bigger and better things in store for my family, my marriage, this household. And, you know, you guys, like, we can quit. That's the easy way out, but we're not gonna, because we have bigger and better things. We have those dreams. We have those goals for our families and for ourselves. Let's see. So, what are the things that you can start doing now to help you grow in resilience and perseverance? What are your strengths? If you don't know what your strengths are, you better bust out a sheet of paper and write what your strengths are. In this business, are you strong meeting one-on-one with people? Are you strong getting on the phone with people? Texting, like, what is it? Sending a birthday card, singing happy birthday to somebody. What are your strengths? Focus on those, because those are what's going to move your business forward. If you're not good at M2s, hey, don't give up. Learn on how to do it better. Maybe be watching somebody. If they have one, say, hey, do you mind if I watch or listen in on how you're doing it? Because you're rocking it. Krista Shepard, I know you've had tons. And Angela Brzezinski, I forgot how you say her last name. Brzezinski, I think. You're rocking it. Shoot, I should come on there and learn some pointers, because I had one M2 that did not go so great, but that's okay. But focus on your strengths, you guys. Don't try to be someone or something you are not. Can I get an amen? Okay. I am not Steph. I am not Krista. I am Rose Muffler. Okay. I am at a 5K and I'm working my butt off, and I'm going to work and get, you know, up here, because I am not going to give up. So don't focus on them and say, man, look at them. Wow. You know, they this, they that. Honestly, I thought you were going to say, oh, oops. No, I'm going to keep it clean, because, you know, kids in the house. But don't try to be something you're not, you guys. That's something I struggled with a long time ago. I had to let that ship sail, because I used to say, but look at Satinka, she da-da-da-da. Or look at Jessica Alexander, she's so amazing. She knows all these people in health, you know, health, fitness, or whatever she does at the gym. Don't do that, because you're only going to stunt your own mindset, and you're just going to be like, you know, no, let's not do that. Don't try to be someone or something you're not, okay? Focus on your strengths. You were made to be you. There's no one else in the world that's Steph you. There's no one else that's Kristen Brunius. No one else that's Tammy. I can't see everybody who's on here because I'm on my phone. But Darcy, or, you know, whoever you are on here, you are called to be you. So you do your business how you are called to be, and don't compare, okay? I took this off my wall because it's so good. Can you guys see this? Who you were then is nowhere near as powerful as who you choose to be now, okay? Hi, cutie. Ah! There goes my phone, sorry. But it's a mindset thing, you guys. Like, we really have to walk in that right mindset, positive mindset. I have a little quick testimony. Amen, sister. Little quick testimonial about my son's birth. A lot of you don't know, but I have an older daughter. And then when I got pregnant with my son, I had placenta. My placenta was low-lying. So if you've ever been pregnant, your placenta needs to be above the baby, because as the baby grows, that's his nutrients. But my placenta stayed at the bottom the whole pregnancy, which is very dangerous. And so they said, there's 99% chance your placenta can rupture, and, you can have the baby early, but let's not, worry about that. Well, you guys, I was in that 99th percentile of my placenta ruptured at 29 weeks. And my son was born prematurely. I was not expecting that at all. I was super scared. I woke up I felt like some cramping, and I'm like, I don't think I'm in labor. I'm 7 months pregnant. Like, I don't know what's going on with my body. But I woke up to a pool of blood, and my placenta became detached when I went to the bathroom to kind of check what was going on. Super scary. I didn't know if my baby had died, if like I was, in trouble. Sure enough, we get to the hospital, and they're like, you're losing a lot of blood. We don't know what's going on. So I just remember praying on the way to the hospital. I said, God, please let my baby be okay. Let my, baby live. I'm, trusting in you. And so I get to the hospital, and as they're checking me, I start bleeding out, like on the table, and they just did an emergency. Like all these things went off, like code, whatever. I don't know if it was code red. I don't remember. But all I remember is they got me into surgery stat, and my son was born, and he was a 5-pound, 13-ounce baby, which is really big for 29 weeks. But it was the scariest, most craziest thing. Code red is a fire. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I don't remember what code it was. But anyway, I just remember being so scared and just thinking like I'm going to die. He's going to die. This is the worst ever. And it is next to the scariest thing that I've ever had to go through. Code blue. Yeah. Thank you. And so I just remember like thinking I was never going to get through that. I had to have the surgery. That they transported him to another hospital that had a NICU because my hospital didn't have a NICU. I didn't see my baby for 2 whole days because I was recovering from a C-section because they had to take him out emergency. So here I was recovering, not seeing my baby. Everyone else in the hospital had their baby, trying to nurse their baby, having skin to skin. And here I was like not near my baby, and just like horrible time. But I just remember thinking like, this is like the worst thing ever. I'm not going to get through this. I was super depressed after, and just such a really hard time in my life. But now that I look at it, my son is 9 years old. He's totally rocks. He's so amazing. I only have one son, so I'm super grateful because even the nurses and doctors said, like, this kid is a miracle. He should not be alive. You should be dead. Like my husband was signing for blood transfusions because I had lost so much blood. And it was really a scary situation. But I know that I went through that to be strong, to be resilient, to persevere through hard times. And my son is the best. He loves sports. He's like our baseball kid, and we love baseball in this family. We're like, you're going to play Major League Baseball. You have no choice. No, I'm just kidding. He has a choice, but we love baseball. So anyway, but just, looking back, I want you guys to think of a really hard situation you've had to go through. Think about that situation and maybe how you thought in the midst of that situation, like, this is the worst. I hate life. This sucks, or whatever. But you guys, it will turn and it will get better. And look at my son, he's doing great. And look at me, I'm, alive and doing well. So don't, think that those situations are going to define who you are, because they don't. And who you are then is nowhere as powerful as you are going to be now. So just keep on persevering. Don't give up. You guys are rocking your business. I'm so honored to be on this team and surrounded by all you amazing women. So that's all I got to share.
Okay, can we all just clap for a hot second? Because that was amazing. And thank you for sharing that. Like, that energy is just so contagious. And, that just puts it in perspective. Like, I literally remember when I was with Beachbody, how worked up I would get about my business and like not hitting numbers or whatever. And it's like, really? Like, then you put it into perspective with something like that, right? So everybody like just needs to, like, this is a gift that we have. This business is a gift. There's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be whatever, but exactly, like, are you like a rubber band? Like, that's the best thing. Are you a rubber band? Can you come back for it? Or are you constantly, are you complaining? Are you going through these trainings that Kristen and I are pouring into, or are you complaining about it? Are you happy about it and excited about it? Or are you like, I'm not going to do that? Well, cool if you're not going to do that, but guess what? If you're not going to do it, you're also probably not going to grow, right? So such awesome stuff. Also, I just do want to say something really quickly because it does kind of get on my nerves. Sorry. But like, it's for people to get on here and talk, you guys, it can be, you know, like, especially if it's somebody's first time, they probably prepared for this for a number of days. And so like, it is nice if you guys can show your face on the screen. I used to make it a requirement on my last team that if you were on the calls that you had to show your face, only because, you know, there's 30 people on here and half of us are not actually showing. So I know that we have like family stuff going on or kids running in and out, but our kids are always on here. And, you know, if you have to mute out for like a hot second, that's cool. But otherwise, I don't know, just maybe watch the replay if you're not going to be able to be like present. So, just a little thing. I don't like to like be making rules or anything, but anyways, I appreciate you, Rose, and Satinka. And yes, and sometimes cameras don't work. I do know that happens, but anyways, thank you guys for being here and all of that good stuff. Sorry. Okay. I just wanted, when she was like, raise your hand, and I'm like, well, half the people don't even have their camera on. So if they had their camera on, they'd be raising their hand. Okay. And Sarah, you guys have heard from Sarah. Where did Sarah go? Oh, Sarah's over here. Sarah Spencer is just another one of our awesome ladies that's just on fire right now and just has such a passion for Deanne, no worries. Her husband brought some people home. You're usually showing your face. Anyways, Sarah is just on fire right now. We have so many people. We just also want to, you know, we want to highlight everybody on the team. If there's ever something that you guys want to talk about, let us know. We would love to have all of you guys talk, but I asked Sarah specifically too, just to come on here because her and I have a little pact because her and I can self-sabotage. You know, you guys look at a lot of us and think like, well, yeah, of course they're doing well. Look at how easy it is for them. But we actually probably have more doubt than a lot of you guys. So yeah, I love that your face is here, Tammy. Okay, so Sarah, go ahead.
Well, I wasn't super awesome like Satinka and Rose, and I didn't make notes, and I didn't really like think a lot about it because when I talked to Steph, it was Saturday, and she's like, all right, so let me back up. I'm a self-sabotager. I do it all the time. I've done it my entire life. I've done it not just like health and wellness, but for building businesses, for bringing my PTO to the next level, like the whole nine. I know that I can achieve super amazing things, but the minute the momentum starts and it starts happening for me, I freak out. And I shy away, but I won't shy away enough to throw it all away. No. I just shrink back enough to where that momentum kind of, you know, you're going 50 miles per hour. Now I'm probably going like 20 miles per hour because I don't know, maybe I get scared, fear of success. I'm sure there's some mental roadblocks that I have to work through. But I had reached out to Steph on Saturday because I'm to the point now where I'm noticing when I'm starting to self-sabotage. And for me to say something to her was like huge for me because typically I wouldn't. And I've actually shared it with Steph. I shared it with Krista, my success partner. I told Melissa. I mean, because I think if I talk about it, and I mean, we've all been there, right? You've all been at that point at one time where you were kind of like, okay, this is too good. This is too good. This is too good. When's that shoe going to drop? What's going to happen? And I, for some reason, just have that mentality. I'm working on it. I'm working on it enough that I recognized it this time. I didn't recognize it last time, and I really lost my steam. And now I've got this whole awesome team that I want to help lead, that I want to help
these girls find their fire and make sure that they're going. And it's really hard to tell somebody, you know, you do this, or have you talked to this person? Because here I am in my house, like hiding in the corner, like reading a romance novel, you know, because I don't want to adult and I don't want to do life. So it was funny when Rose, I messaged her today. First off, we weren't Facebook friends, which is super strange. So like she finally accepted my request like 2 days later. It's fine, Rose, it's okay. But I wanted to find out about her blender, which she never told me about anyway, if she liked her blender. But she's like, are you excited to talk tonight? And I was like, honestly, like, no. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm gonna say. And like, I'm a self-sabotager. I'm like, so I guess I'll share my self-sabotage journey. And she's like, stop right now. You can't stop. You go in the mirror and you tell yourself that you are amazing and you are capable and you can do this. And she said that to me this afternoon, and I'm like, I really don't know what I'm going to talk about tonight. So I hope Steph's prepared for Sarah's just going to get on and say what's on her heart situation. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But self-sabotage, it's a real thing, you guys. And sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. When you are yeah, things are going really great, I'm going to kind of coast along for a little bit. It's kind of it's a little bit of a self-sabotage, because you're saying, okay, well, I've done just enough. Now I'm just going to coast. Just keep going. Just keep pushing. Just keep doing what you're doing every single day, even if you're not 100% into it. Even today I sat and did my CRM like this. Click, click. Hi, how are you? Click. I'm not lying to you, but I did it. I got it done. And I actually talked with 3 members that I hadn't spoken to in a while because of my serious, I sat here and I was like, hi, I haven't talked to you in a long time. It's your soul train conductor. Toot, toot. Do you know what I mean? I was, but I guess my whole point of this is, when you feel like you're not able to do it anymore, and you feel like, what is the point of this? When you feel like, I've gotten this far, now I can kind of sit back and relax. I've hit prime. It's, the 15th. I'm good for the month. Just don't do it. Because for me, that's my full speed ahead to self-sabotage, to where then in a month from now, I probably wouldn't have done my CRM at all. So I didn't take it off my wall, but I'm going to take it off my wall, because this, I think mine's going to be backwards. Can you read it? It's backwards, right? Okay. Well, it says, I am strong. I am capable. I can do this. I believe in myself. And that is hanging on my thing. And I've been trying to tell myself that every day. Do you know I haven't sat at my desk in a week, so I didn't have to look at that? So just reach out. Reach out to any of us. When you feel like that, seriously, let me know. I get you. I'm you. I've been there. I get it. I get the fear. I get the, why are you scared? I don't know. I don't know either, but I get it. So just keep going and use your words, awesome words, like Satinka said, and affirm yourself. Rose was so cute when she said it. I was I could feel her next to me, and I was like, okay, because that's this team, man, you guys. We are, I can't believe, I still, I would have never have reached out to you, Steph. And I knew I had to, because I know that you struggle with it as well. And that's the only way that we're going to learn to get better, right? Is when we join together and figure out how to navigate through this crazy thing we call life. So that's it, unless you want me to say more, because I could go on about other dumb things.
I'm just trying to not cry over here. So that's crazy that you said you haven't even been at your desk, because, okay, you guys, part of my story with Soul is that, I was able to build this dream house, right? And obviously I have all kinds of other stuff going on in my home. But I built this office, and, I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I'm going to make all, this is where I'm going to hit it big, and all that stuff. And, I haven't been in here for months, and today I moved around my furniture, and I have this thing that has the date or whatever. that you can change it. And the date was June 11th. June 11th was the last time I sat at my desk.
That's my birthday.
Oh, no way.
I swear to God, my birthday is June 11th.
Girl, we are so connected. That's wow. And before that, it was a while too. So anyways, affirmations are huge, you guys. Vision boards. There's a reason why a lot of the stuff that are in the trainings that Kristen and I are writing is in there. It's because we know, and a lot of it seems repetitive, or a lot of, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just not going to do this day, or I'm not going to, I don't need to do that part, but you do. Like, trust me, you do. There's a method to the madness, and whatever, and it works. And so one thing that I love that Rose said, and she said, start now. What are your strengths? Is it one-on-ones, phones, texting, birthdays, whatever? And then she said, learn. If you don't know how to do an M2 meeting, learn. You guys, like, the information is there, oh, look at everybody's face. I felt bad after I said it, but I had to say it. I'm so sorry. Learn, like, it's in the, how did Kristen and I learn? Like, we had to look the stuff up, you know what I mean? Like, or we called. And part of that is, feel free to come to us, because we have, like, even Becca had an instance today where she called, or she sent in her information for the M2 meeting, and they told her it was 24 hours or 48 hours instead of 72 hours, or I don't know, whatever. Like, then definitely come to us, because we can call Jordan and stuff like that. But we kind of are lucky with this team, and especially with all of the systems that we have in place now. Like, it's amazing, and it's going to work so well just moving forward. But sometimes you might just have to, like, look also. So use that, learn, do the webinars, personal development, write on your mirror. Sarah's got that picture right there. What I finally did, and I used to do this all the time, is wrote it on my mirror. And I showed Kristen what I wrote on my mirror the other day. And Kristen said, that's a limiting belief. She's like, why did you only put that? Like, what your goal is and what you're going for. Why wouldn't you put that? And it's true, but I was like shaking, and I wrote it under the initial thing that I wrote. But it's, I don't know if you guys saw this in the comments, but I'm dead serious. What Kristen, I think it was almost exactly a year ago, or it was around the beginning of the year. Anyways, Kristen and I were both kind of looking for, like, a coach, or like, we're, whatever. And I literally hired this person for $10,000, and I got on a call with her, and, she told me, like, everything. It was like, oh, you don't have daddy issues, you have mommy issues, and, like, whatever. We went through this whole thing, and I'm like, oh my God, she told me more in an hour than anybody's ever been able to figure out ever. And she told me that basically I have a fear of abundance, and that's what Sarah's talking about. I built this house, and I, was doing really, really, really well with Soul, and I basically went, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, we're very lucky as a team that we've never fallen behind, where we go, but we just, for a long time, haven't grown past that either. And you get comfortable, or you get doubt, or it's an up and a down thing. But we're very lucky for the team that we have. So definitely, yes, in a Sharpie. Yes, mine's in a Sharpie too. Holy moly, Susie. That's so awesome. Susie, we were just talking about that before you were able to hop on. Krista was saying, like, people are watching, you guys, and the power of this team is so, so, so impactful. Like, Darlene has been watching. She's been on the products for at least a year and a half, but we all still talk to her, and not even that, not only because she's in my CRM, but because I talk to her enough that her stuff pops up in my feed. And, Krista it was super funny, because she basically, like, told you guys, like, all right, well, here's who I want to speak in my M2 meeting. Like, she knows she's going big or going home. And so that's really cool. I'm excited for that. But anyways, I love all three of these little talks of encouragement. I think they went so perfectly together, which is awesome. You guys all had your own plan of what you were going to say, and I appreciate you guys. Anybody else have anything they want to say? Or last night's call did not get transferred somehow to the correct form. But Kristen has a shorter video that you can send potential members if you would like that, and it's awesome. And I was like, oh, maybe I should have watched that before I said we needed to do a call. I was so proud we did it in 30 minutes, and she did hers in 9, and it's already on YouTube and everything. And I was like, oh my God, my bad. I should have looked at that Google Doc. Oh, I'm the worst, you guys. Even us that you think have it all together. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for being here. I love you all. Thank you, Satinka, Rose, and Sarah. And we're watching, and there's Grace. Hi, Grace.
Steph, you just said, I'm the worst. You guys.
Oh, no, but you know what? I am with you. Like, ask anybody. I'm like, wait, what did you just say? Oh, you can't. So normally I don't self-deprivate myself, but yeah, I just mean, Kristen already did the work, and then I scheduled the call anyways. And she didn't even say, like, hey, did you know I already did a video that members can watch about M2 meetings? I think it's nice that they were able to kind of get into this. I know, but sometimes I don't. I'm in my own world sometimes, that. But I think it was nice, like, to all be in the same space. But from here on out, we'll just send that video. Yay. And Autumn, I love your haircut.
Autumn's got hot hair.
It's so pretty.
Hot.
Thank you.
How was your day? Was it so fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got new back to school outfits and shoes and haircuts.
Okay, can you send me a Marco with your outfit? I want to see it.
It's really cute.
Yay. That's awesome. What a fun day. Yay, yay, yay.
It's so funny because Grace knows some of the team now, and Sarah's talking, and she's like, Sarah, hi. And she's waving. I'm like, don't distract. But it was really, she knows them, right? So that was really cool.
Rose says muy bonita.
Night, everybody.
Oh, good night, Grace.
Bedtime in the West.
I love you guys. Oh, have a good night.